Hello and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda and the news that made me the man I am today. What's up, y'all? It's me, Taylor, or Spicy, if you're one of my internet friends, and I hope I made a couple since last episode.
Not this again.
Yes, this again.
It's just not the same.
I know, guys. I know. You're stuck with me again today. I even put the helmet on just for the off chance that you might want to throw stuff at me from the internet, that I will be at least somewhat protected and hopefully not hit him again. But I know you're excited to hear about our return of our normal news bot, so I just wanted to give you an update. Our venerable news dreadnought is en route back to base. He has got some sweet upgrades and had to stomp out a quick gene sealer cult incursion. There was a Death Watch fire team involved, but either way, he'll be back to share shortly. So let's do the news. Oh yeah. A man flying from Atlanta this past week experienced one of the worst possible situations when flying. I know it's one of my biggest fears when I travel with firearms. His firearm disappeared at the airport.
Even worse, the passenger now says he believes his customized gun was stolen by airport officials.
He did everything correctly regarding TSA rules, storage while traveling. They checked in his firearm without issue at Delta. And then his customized one-off pistol that he had built did not show up at his destination.
Holy disappearing act.
He even got to watch the firearm pass through TSA screening, which in my experience doesn't always happen, but it's nice. But when he arrived at his destination, he was told the bag was delayed and still in Atlanta. The airline attendant there even showed him the map they used to track baggage internally, and it displayed it was at the Atlanta airport. Upon returning from his trip, it continued to go awry, and Delta's story changed. The agent in Atlanta then told him the firearm had never been checked in by Delta or TSA.
They just vanished.
The man then states the agent told him that somebody had to take it out of the system, and he responded, "So you mean it's a ghost?" I'm trying my best not to make a ghost gun joke here, guys, because honestly, I'd be pretty salty if my personal pistol was lost or stolen because of some negligence, but maybe you can help me out and do it for me. The man further states, "I think it got stolen. A gun disappeared in the airport and nobody is taking it seriously or wants to find it. And now it's out of the system." Neither Delta or TSA responded to the comment, and honestly, I wouldn't expect them to. That would be an admission of guilt. And we all know that government agents and private companies are all morally sound bastions of honesty.
Honesty.
So I really wanted to bring this up, A, because it stinks and we like to highlight when people are literally incapable of doing their jobs, and I kind of consider TSA and the airline companies, they're pretty specific on what their job is. Get the thing to the place it's supposed to be, make sure it does not get lost, check it in properly. So I kind of encourage you when you're traveling, make sure that you have a hard copy offline version that you know what the important details of your firearm were, so that you can help identify it in the awful case that this guy is going through. And if you're like me, your guntism was going off, dying the entire time inside a little bit, wanting to know what the pistol was. Well, if you thought it was a PSA dagger, you win the internet for today. I did giggle a little bit based on how he described it, full disclosure, but I'm happy that there are blasters in every price point, and I gotta give this dude credit for at least trying to keep that thing handy, you know, for close encounters. Every time we get to climb aboard the flying germ tube for work, I loathe every minute of it. And, you know, I would like to think that it's maintained by people that care about safety and the passengers. More than half of the time in my experience, our luggage comes out containing, you know what, on the carousel with all the other bags, regardless if it has a big red tag that says return to the BSO. I'd like to hope that a local gun shop or PSA hooks this dude up. I think that would be pretty solid. So while you discuss the efficacy of PSA and that new Grand Thumb video in the comments, please remember it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Hydra. From the genius that created the Bushmaster firearm comes the Hydra Mark 15, the ultimate weapon platform. It's modular, versatile, and mission-driven, and the Hydra Mark 15 quick and easy caliber change system gives you a whole lot of options without costing a whole lot of money. Y'all know how much we love the gun rights organizations that are doing their part, putting those lawyers out to pasture, keeping them fed and watered, and getting them ready when it's time to drive them home and fight for gun rights. The GOA in particular is one of our favorites. Shout out to Luis, the Florida man we got to meet at Gunstock earlier this year. So this week, GOA and the Gun Owners Foundation filed a petition with SCOTUS to challenge the Illinois ban on those normal magazines and scary black rifles.
All those things, they scare the life out of me.
GOA secured an injunction after the ban began in 2023 with a pretty based response from Judge Stephen McGlynn. And he's right, you know. They are still big mad about the Bruin and Heller decisions and are not going to let it go. They will continue to ignore any legal opinions they don't agree on. Tell me you're surprised. So the GOA and GOF are optimistic they're going to be able to stick it to Jabba the Prick, and I hope at the end of this we can give them all a solid "that'll do, pig." That'll do. And as always, the link is in the doobly-doo. Apparently I forgot to say doobly-doo last time, so thanks for keeping me honest. Doobly-doo, doobly-doo, doobly-doo. So if you got a couple extra credits you're not planning on spending at your favorite store on the Citadel, we encourage you to take the time to visit the GOA website and toss them a couple bucks. Come on, let's be honest. You know you're going to spend all that money on Alpenflage from the surplus hipsters anyway, and I'm sure the Alpenflage really matches well with your environment you're in. As you may have gathered from my description of the Oscars earlier this week, I could give a rat's patootie about Hollywood.
Good, because I would hate that.
But since they love guns so much that they can't help but put them in everything they want to make money with, and since that's what we talk about around these parts, sometimes you just gotta skin that smoke wagon, which I guess is how we got here in the first place, so to speak. But unlike Alec Baldwin, I encourage you not to be a tool. Haven't kept up with the Rush trial much, to be honest, in 2021 when it originally happened. I know we've talked about it sometimes on the news, but it's hard to give a crap about these people. Well, let's be honest. I got better things to do, like play Helldivers, talk about anything involving the Constitution and or trim my hair. But last week, the Armour were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter of the cinematographer while filming on The Rust. The Armour was additionally charged with tampering with evidence, while prosecutors alleged that she handed off a small bag of cocaine after her interview with law enforcement right after the shooting. What would make you incapable of doing your job and put you in a altered mental state? I'll need your help in the comments. Naturally, her lawyers responded that there was no proof that it was actually nose candy. Your guess is as good as mine. Schrodinger's blow aside, I'm always curious how safe Hollywood gun handling is, actually, and what the firearms experts in legal cases have to say. We do like to use them for reference throughout our news content, and in general, we've been talking about the experts a lot lately, and I feel that we should all do our part to make sure that we're getting good information. One of the experts for the prosecution, Brian Carpenter, seems like a fairly knowledgeable dude and pointed out instances where the cast member was shown repeatedly pointing a firearm at the crew and instances where
Alec Baldwin
was seen using the revolver as a pointer. Keep in mind, this is not a prop gun. It was a new functioning firearm. They basically did a little bit of work on it to make it look old. So one of the experts on the defense side, Frank Louis Blair Kuski III, may have received his expert degree at the Baldwin Academy of Negligence. Because this dude apparently broke court protocol in regards to presenting evidence and flagging the courtroom with a firearm that had not been cleared yet. And the judge and the prosecutor schwacked his pee-pee on firearm safety immediately.
All right, first of all, everybody's nervous because you have not demonstrated to us that they are unloaded. So before you start showing us the weapons, make sure they're unloaded, including that one that you just touched.
Do you agree with me that basic gun safety requires that the handler of the gun not point the gun at anyone?
If it's a real gun, yes.
Do you agree that when you pulled that firearm out and pointed it in the direction of the judge, the deputy standing next to you had to intervene and grab the gun and point it down?
I want to object.
As funny as that was, y'all, this is kind of one of my personal soapboxes, and us as gun rights fans, us as ambassadors of the 2A, whatever you want to put yourself in as a box to describe it, we want you all to be safe out there. I want you to vet your experts, and especially if you're paying them for training or saving your butt in court, you should kind of ensure that you're getting good information ahead of time. Make sure you're driving the speed limit while you're out there. If you're not able to go to that Tex Grebner speed, it's okay. You don't have to pretend that everything is on Instagram is reality.
I
I just fucking shot myself.
Gundustry News.
So the folks at SB Tactical, the originators of the pistol stabilizing brace and one of our favorite companies to give you-know-who a hard time, just announced the new SB A5 pistol brace for large frame pistols. It's designed to work with anything capable of accepting a mil-spec buffer extension. It's 5-position adjustable. It's got an AMB-QD sling socket, weighs about 9 ounces, and comes in either black or tactical peanut butter. With the arm cuff size based on the original SB15, it ships with an adjustable nylon strap for a custom fit. They say it greatly enhances the host firearm by adding an additional point of contact. For more information, visit SB Tactical's website or follow SB Tactical on Facebook or Instagram. And now, for your moment of zen, thanks for sticking around.
About to spin the block on the ops, know what I'm saying?
You're not even about that life. What are you talking about?
Hey, this is provocative. It gets people going, man. You're always messing up my damn videos.
Whatever.
Do you like pews and pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of free fitting? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. Andrew loves you a lot, but I still like you. I'm out.